Telepathy.
Telepathy.
Your favorite podcast on the internet.
With Enzo and Anna Catherine. Hey guys, welcome to Telepathy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Another week, another Tuesday, another Telepathy.
Episode 105. Hello, how are you guys doing?
Yes. We are here. We are back together. Oh wait, we recorded together.
Yes, but this is like a different college setup. I'm trying out the different things. I think I like being at the desk here, but it's currently Labor Day right now, but Telepathy doesn't take any days off. So we're laboring today.
Exactly. We are laboring today.
We're working with an E, but we're going to be talking about, yet again, celebrities in the Hollywood industry and all of that. And our main topic or focus of today is, do you have to be problematic to be successful? I feel like there's a whole lot that goes into this, and I took actually a bunch of notes. So don't go nowhere. Not yet.
Don't.
Yes.
We've been talking about this topic for a while, and I feel like we are finally recording it at the perfect time because like there's just some new things to talk about.
Some recent developments.
If we had recorded it like a month ago when we thought of the idea, it wouldn't have been the right time. Exactly.
There's just ideas flowing through our genes. But we'll get there.
Anyways, should we get into our icebreakers?
Yes,
first?
Every episode we do our telepathy traditions. So the camp question, because we're at summer camp, we have to get to know each other and really break the ice.
We're just really still getting to know each other. It's been pretty awkward.
I know.
So this isn't really for you. It's more for us to break the ice.
Me and Anna only met just recently.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Your name, your age, and what's your favorite form of digital communication? It's like FaceTime, text. Like which do you like the best, and like why?
Okay, that's a good one. My name's Anna. I'm 22, and actually my birthday's a month from today.
Oh my gosh, 20, almost 20.
I'm just excited. 3.
Oh my gosh, I almost thought 24 for a second. I don't know why.
Oh, that's a crazy thing, and I don't even want to think about the fact that I'm turning 24 in like a year. Like that's a really scary age to me. Although I love the number 4.
No, because when like you like
number.
You kind of age yourself. You're like, wow, I can't believe Anna's 22, and then like you get so caught up in the idea that you're still like old and 22 that like you're already 23 in my mind, and I'm like, wait, no. Ugh, I just time is scary. True. Okay, continue.
Okay, yes, Anna, 23. Nope, 22.
I threw you off.
Just testing it out, And my favorite form of digital communication is probably texting. I like FaceTiming, but I don't prefer to do it like that often. I think texting is just the quickest way and the easiest way. And I think it's fun sometimes when you start sending like funny emojis or funny stickers. Like you can be pretty creative with texting, and I'm just like a pretty chronic texter. Like I'm the type of person that will respond to a text very quickly.
I think we're both like that, so telepathy.
Yeah, and most of my friends are not like that. Oh shoot, my battery's already blinking.
Okay, wait, follow-up question, what are your thoughts on group chats?
I like group chats most of the time. I like it when it's like really close friends group chat, like our group chat with Carolina and Kirk. It's fun because you can literally just like send anything and it gets pretty like crazy. Sometimes group chats are awkward, like if you're like planning something and you send a text to a group chat and like nobody responds. Like it's annoying when people are like scared to like type in a group chat. Like literally just respond, like ask a question, just respond.
Yes. Okay.
But anyways, you can go ahead.
I'm Enzo, I'm 18, and I'm also going to say texting, but there is one condition, and that's the person that I'm texting has to be a texter, because the whole thing of like, oh, I don't do texting. Like I do get that for some people, but other people, I'm like, I know you're on your phone. I literally asked how your day was. Why can't you answer me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do love really close group chats where I can kind of just send random thoughts in my brain, and then it's just kind of like sometimes you'll get a little thumbs up, other times it'll start a whole thread, but it's like there's something beautiful about that. So yes, I guess into music and TV shout outs, I have been so excited to shout out these 2 songs. So the first one is Swim Good by Frank Ocean. I just like love a lot of Frank Ocean songs, and I feel like different songs of his come into my life when they need to. And this song came at the perfect time because like it's just one of those where I'm walking to class and I'm like, I'm gonna look back at this song and be like, oh, this is the beginning of college and I was walking to class listening to this song.
I made a playlist in freshman year in college because of those specific songs that like I knew I would look back on and be like, oh, I remember like walking somewhere to this song. Like, oh,
yes,
I love overly romanticizing college, walking around in college.
Romanticizing music is so good. But my second shout out is Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party by Hayley Williams. I love Paramore and I love Hayley Williams. And whether she's doing a solo project or something with the group.
I haven't listened to the new songs.
You haven't?
No, but because it bothers me that they're all separate. Like, I guess I just need to put them all on a playlist and listen straight through. I would have listened to them way faster if it was like an album format.
Okay, yes, but that's all. Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party is so good. And, Hayley Williams, whether a group or solo project, eats down every single time. So that will be going in the mysterious Telepathy playlist, which shall be revealed momentarily.
Ooh. Oh my goodness. So yes, a lot of you have been asking, what is this mysterious telepathy playlist that we've been hinting at for the past 20 seconds? Well, if you go to our Instagram at the Telepathy Pod, we have a highlight. You can click on this highlight that's titled playlist, which has a link to this mysterious playlist. And if you click on this link, it will lead you. If you don't know what links are, basically like on the internet, it's just like a combination of like letters and numbers.
Amazing.
You click on it. If you type in this exact code, it brings you to an exact website
A very special place. And that special place is the Telepathy playlist.
The Telepathy playlist with all of our songs that we've ever shouted out on air on Telepathy. So yes, that is how you get to it. You should go follow it, give it a listen. Give it a really good listen because it has every song you would ever need in your life.
And it's not a lot
with that
of
being
them.
said, yes. All right, guys. I did not prepare ahead and did not charge my battery enough.
It's okay. Imagine if this was a live
recording
podcast.
on my phone now.
It'd be like every single week if we were on air and it'd be like something would be going on.
Oh yeah, we need to get our.
I was going to text you to clear your SD card, but there was actually another underlying issue. So it's okay, guys. One of these days we're going to get it and it's going to be so good. But actually, today is today.
We've done good. We've been doing good. It was just
Yes.
this one time I forgot to take my camera out. But it's almost because I didn't take my battery out because I immediately started exporting after last episode. So I was actually so on top of it that I.
Very
Anyways,
true.
I feel like I look so different on this camera though. So I feel like y'all are just seeing a different side of me.
We're literally on the edge of our seats right now, waiting for your music shout out.
Okay. So my music shout out, as I was saying, a bunch of albums came out, personally 4 that I was looking forward to, and so I wanted to shout out one from like the new Blood Orange album because he came out with a new album and it's really good. I need to give it another listen because it's very like chill, and I feel like the chiller albums, for some reason they're almost so chill that I stop listening because I just get so chill.
That.
But I'm gonna shout out the song Thinking Clean because it's one of the ones that I added to my monthly playlist. So if you've already listened to Tears by Sabrina Carpenter too much, you can instead switch it up and listen to Thinking Clean because
Cleanse your
if you're
soul.
listening to Tears,
Cleanse your soul, go to church. And no, I'm just kidding.
yes. It's the movie TV shout outs. Do you have
I
anything?
don't have them, but I have an exciting announcement, and that is that now with one of my media industries class, we do a weekly screening every Thursday. So now I'm like starting this Thursday. So I'm guaranteed to have one movie shout out every single week from now on. So get so pumped.
Oh my gosh. Are they going to be
so
like,
well-versed.
I know, are they going to be like Film Bro? Like, are they going to be like Christopher Nolan? Like, are they going to be movies that like, like I'm so superior for having seen this movie type?
I don't think so, because I feel like normally the film professors don't follow the same Film Bro track, but I think that one of them they mentioned was like Jaws, which I'm sure we're going to talk about, like the production of that and how that.
Ooh,
was,
I've
like,
been meaning to
chaotic.
watch Jaws, and it's the 50th.
Yeah.
It's the 50th anniversary of Jaws, and they're doing some like screenings.
I know,
all
just
around,
like knowing
so.
everything that went down into making it, I'm like, oh, this sounds terrifying and just like a whole mess. But here we are. So yeah, That's the exciting announcement for me. Do you have any movie shout outs?
Yes, actually, so we have a little, I think I've mentioned it before, the Independent Picture House in Charlotte. It's like a little independent movie theater, and they were doing like a film fest this week. So they're playing some movies that are like being only shown at festivals. And so me and my friend went to see this movie called Boys Go to Jupiter. And it's like an animated movie. It has Grace Schmidt in it. I don't know if you know who that is, but I didn't really know who it is, but it's some sort of like comedian that Kirk really likes. It's like one of those internet comedians, like the new age, the 20s. She's the type of person that would hang out with like the people who created theater camp. Like that.
Yeah,
like,
I love that.
Like Iowa Debris, and then you get into like, anyway, she's the type of person that hang out with the Rachel Sennett, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, it was a really good movie. It's like animated. I heard that they animated it on their computer. It was like a independently produced, just like they made a little movie on their computer. But it was really good. It was really funny. Highly recommend. And yeah, that's it. Do you have any week recaps?
Honestly,
You've had a pretty eventful week.
Yeah, it's an eventful week. So I'm honestly just going to leave you guys to my YouTube channel at Enzo Antonio and also my TikTok to figure out what went on there, because I don't want to waste your time. And it's just been it's been the college experience so far. So yeah, I don't think there's much to get into that on the podcast today.
Yeah, my week recap, I have just been working, and then my mom came to visit one night, and then my friends came to visit one night, and I went to the Men I Trust concert last night because they came to Charlotte, and it was really good. They are so...
Yeah.
They sound so good live. They sound, I mean, just like the recording, honestly, but even better, like their instruments, like
so
their
dreamy.
guitar settings are like so good. I was like, yeah, it was just amazing. And then her voice is really good. I definitely want to start listening to them more because I went as kind of like a casual listener. I was like, this will just be a really good concert because they sound very like relaxing and like a good outdoors concert. But I was like, okay, I need to like really listen to them more because I also just don't feel like I listen to chill music enough. So I need to like amp up my chill music game, you know?
Yeah, because it's harder to like get it the first time you hear it, because usually it's like slower melodies. It's not usually like a catchy hook or anything. So I feel like in a world of like fast-paced moving music algorithms, it's hard to find a chill song that really sticks the first time and then stays in the playlist. So I feel like just to slow down and listen to that, I feel like it's good.
That is very true. Okay, should we get into the topic? I feel like this has been such a long intro.
I know, it definitely has, but thank you guys for sitting through that. We're finally getting into it now. So I think that we should start off with Sabrina Carpenter, because we did an episode on feminism and pop music, and we talked about her album cover and just the whole drama with Man's Best Friend when it was announced. But it just came out last Friday, and so I think we could kind of do a little update on... Of course, we did that full episode, so you guys can go check that out if you want to see our full stance on that and our full opinions on it. But I was thinking we could kind of revisit that because it could kind of tie into this episode topic, and we can kind of circle back to it. So what were your thoughts on the album itself and the songs, and how do you think that tied into the theme that she was trying to go for?
That's a good question. So first of all, I really loved the album, and I think it's, I mean, we agree on this topic because we've talked about it outside of this podcast, but like, it's getting so much like, I don't want to say hate. I mean, it's kind of hate, but
just
it's kind of just people saying,
or underwhelming. Like, I'm like, what?
Yeah, underwhelmed. Yeah, everybody's like underwhelmed, and I'm so confused because like I loved it. Short and sweet. It was almost like so overhyped to where I listened to it and I was like, it's good, but I'm not like obsessed with it. Whereas this one, like I've had the different songs stuck in my head every day, and I'm becoming more of a Sabrina Carpenter fan again because I think this album she did a really good job with it. That's a good question though about like how it carried through the narrative of the man's best friend thing that she was saying. Like that, you know, was controversial at the beginning. I feel like I'm trying to gather my thoughts on this. I feel like she's continued with her typical style of songs where she's like acting more, sometimes like making fun of men for like things that they do, or like in typical breakup song fashion, like being like, why'd you do this, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just felt like a lot of the songs were very creative. Like Tears, House Tour, they all had that, her typical like
Innuendo.
Innuendo style lyrics. I was like, what more can you do with these innuendo style songs? But these like surprised me, like these actually, like my jaw was dropped, especially with Tears, because everyone thought it was going to be like about crying, or and a sad song. But
at the thought of you, like literally, like that's been stuck in my head for the entirety of every day since it's come out.
And also, I loved the music video. Did you watch the music video?
It was so fun. It kind of gave like Rocky Horror Show mixed with Beetlejuice, like all of that.
Yeah, it was definitely like an exact Rocky Horror Picture Show like inspiration, whatever. And I saw somebody say that like she did like a horror themed music. Well, she does a lot of horror themed music videos, but like it was a haunted house because like her like being in a relationship was so like scary, or it was like like I'm not speaking good English today, but it was a horror story being in a relationship. I don't know, what do you think?
Okay, so
because I haven't actually really thought about that yet.
The album, I thought it was better, or I prefer it more than Short and Sweet, which is definitely just like a preference, like music taste kind of thing. I loved like,
it was honestly like
the sound.
Honestly, like it was. I was just gonna say it's honestly like sonically that I'm saying that I like it better than Short and Sweet. Like sonically, the songs go better with my brain.
I really like the 80s synth pop kind of vibe, and I feel like she really stuck with that throughout the album. And a lot of people were saying that some of the songs sound the same, but I didn't really feel that way. I felt more like they all kind of gave me that same groovy feeling, but I feel like they were all like there was some variety in there. But I will say in our last like the pop or feminism and pop music episode, I talked about how I thought that the album's concept was going to become a lot more clear when this album came out. And to be honest, like I still don't understand why, like even people saying like on TikTok, talking about the album and referring to it as Man's Best Friend, I don't like that title at all. Not even just because of maybe some of the interpretations that people can make because of that. Like I don't necessarily, I'm not super nitpicky about that, because I think that if somebody's interpreting it in an anti-feminist way, then that's probably something that they should reflect on, and not a reflection of Sabrina and her view on the world, which, is we talked about in that episode. But I just don't get why, because like you said, the album is a lot about like how being in a relationship was like a horror story, or even like, I feel like whenever she does talk about love in a positive way or like romance, it's in a very like surface level kind of silly way, like House Tour, Tears. So I feel like it does kind of show that, at the surface, love looks all fun and pretty and cute, but it's actually like really scary. And I feel like I wish she would have kind of went with that concept of like the horror and like the haunted house vibe, and kind of tied that into the whole album, especially with House Tour 2. Maybe like some sort of haunted house, like I don't know if I'm just like becoming a creative director, art director. Like
maybe
this different art direction.
Maybe even just like a line about like, my house wasn't haunted until you came along, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Like I feel like that could have been a cooler theme, because for me, like Man's Best Friend, I thought it would talk more about like companionship, and that's what I was hoping it would be, more about companionship, but in a positive, not submissive way. I don't think the album was like submissive in the sense that people were thinking it was going to be. I will say when it got to Tears and it says, I get wet at the thought of you, I was like, oh girl, here we go again. And then it said, being a responsible guy, I was like, okay, period. Okay, love that. Like I like that song. I think the lyrical content, it's funny and all of that, but the album cover, like this is how we can get into kind of like the problematicness now too. I mean, I don't know if that album title or concept was chosen for shock value. It definitely did get people's attention, but I don't think it tied in super well to the album. So do you have any other thoughts on that, or do you want to get into like overall shock value and stuff like that?
I just think it's interesting that like people made such a big. I mean, if she had chosen a different album cover, which she has lots of alternates now that you can choose differently if you would so choose, but if she had chosen a different album cover, I mean, I like the album cover. I think it's kind of fun. Like, I think I don't take it that seriously. We had this whole conversation in that last episode. But like, if she had chosen a different album cover, she could have fully avoided like this whole controversy, and maybe people would have like thought differently about the album, because I feel like some people might have been biased beforehand.
Yeah,
about,
or
like,
even
not
some
liking,
people maybe are just
which,
listening to it just because they were expecting it to be this kind of rage bait album, for lack of a better term. And then they listened to it and
Yeah.
realized, and that's why they come to the conclusion that, oh, it's just the same thing over and over again. But it's like, no, it's just that
Yeah.
same fun pop sound, and it's nothing shocking or something to like
Yeah.
aggravate audiences.
And as like a visual person and as a graphic designer, I do think that the album cover affects how I listen to the album.
Oh,
like
for
I
sure.
hate that it is that way, but to be completely honest, I don't really like the short and sweet album cover. I think she looks so like
Retouched.
edited. Yeah, I think like her eyes like creep me out in that photo. It looks like Uncanny Valley to me. And so that actually affected my perception of the album, because I was like, I don't really love this album cover, so I don't really know how I feel about the album.
Exactly. But I also,
anyways.
yeah, I think
Oh,
that,
sorry, go ahead.
no, you're good. I was thinking that like an artist's ability to get people's attention though is something that should always be noted, and that's like kind of what contributes to how they rise to fame. Because
Yeah.
I think that Sabrina, like, she stuck with the innuendos and kind of has tied that into her overall message that she wants to send as an artist, or just kind of, I don't know, the overall theme of a lot of her work.
Yeah.
And so I think that the reason why, like, she stuck with it, and of course, like, it turned heads at first, and, you know, there was like the different Juno positions, and some people thought that was funny. Some people thought, like, what is going on? There's kids at this concert, whatever. But nonetheless, it still got people's attention. And I think the fact that she stuck with it is why it's now become a part of her brand, and people are accepting it. And even if it gets people mad, they accept that that's her thing, you know? Because I think that if we were to listen to, like, I don't know, an independent pop artist who, you know, randomly had the lyric in a single that was like, I get wet at the thought of you, we'd probably be like, if it came up on Spotify, we'd be like, what is going on? What is this? But she's done it so many times and has like made it known what that means to her and what that looks like for her as a performer, as an artist. And so now you hear it and it's just like, oh, Sabrina, whatever, you know? So
Yeah, like she does it in a silly way, not in like a serious way.
yeah, but it's like she took the risk of being like what some would consider overly sexual. And now she's ruffled some feathers.
Yeah.
And even if it was controversial for a second, now a lot of people have picked up on it, and she's found that following that appreciates that kind of wittiness. So,
And that is, yeah. And that's definitely how art like moves forward, is like you do something slightly controversial and then everyone's talking about it and then it becomes normal. Like even when Elvis was coming to fame, like before rock and roll was really a thing, like he was controversial at the time. And now that seems so normal, or it's just like, okay, yeah, it was Elvis.
yeah,
and then-
or Nicki Minaj,
Or like
Anaconda.
styles of music. Yeah.
Anaconda, like everyone thought that that was the most vile, vulgar, explicit thing ever. And now that's like the standard for music videos. So art is about pushing
Yeah.
boundaries.
Or like Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball.
Right. Like now
Yeah.
that's like the norm.
Yeah.
So maybe you have to ruffle some feathers to make an impact. You know what I mean? And I think that that's,
Yeah. I mean, even if you take it from like the traditional art form, like Van Gogh and like Monet, they were looked at like crazy because they were painting not in the traditional way that people are taught to paint in the like French classical art schools. So like literally that's just how it's always been with art, whether it's like painting, music, anything. So yes, should we like transition to like some other types of?
I think we should, because obviously I feel like it is a known thing
Problematicness.
that pushing yourself in your artistry, of course, you're going to see good outputs normally. But I think that this has kind of infiltrated the PR world and just advertising as a whole and corporate America. So I think we should get into it.
Advertising and branding and logos and
design.
ads. There's been a lot of... It's been kind of fun being in the graphic design / ad world recently, just because, the past month, there have been the two famous jeans ads, the Sydney Sweeney ad and then the Gap ad, which have done total opposite. One's done terribly and one's done amazingly. And then there's been
the Gap one is the Cat's Eye one, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, the way they were so iconic that I didn't even fully process that was a Gap ad. I was kind of just this is Cat's Eye's commercial now.
Yeah, exactly. And then the Cracker Barrel, we could talk about the Cracker Barrel rebrand. Ooh. It's been so fun being in this world recently because I'm dang, there's so much happening. Everybody's talking about things that advertisers and graphic designers are doing right now, which is cool.
Yes. Okay, I think we should start with Sydney Sweeney and I also took some notes on the concept of all press is good press. And I think that this does kind of apply in the advertising world, especially, specifically with the US right now. I feel like it's becoming very divided culturally, ideologically, whatever. And so now the idea of all press is good press, it's you're going to make one group mad, but then one group is happy that you're making a group mad. So now they're going to support you, which I feel like is kind of what happened with Sydney Sweeney's thing. So a lot of people watched that ad and were kind of what made them think this was a good idea? The thing is, they know with their whole heart that this is not a good idea and it's going to get backlash, but that's why they did it. You know what I mean? I don't think that they watched the ad back and felt this isn't going to make an impact at all. Nobody's going to be really talking about this. It's just a casual ad. They know it's going to get people talking and all of that. And I think it is actually concerning because, of course, toxic propaganda, it's harder to get a bunch of people on board when you just straight up just say what your harmful message is. You have to kind of dip your toes in and subtly get there to the point where then now people are, engaging in conversations about white supremacy and stuff like that, or eugenics. You know what I mean? You can't just outwardly say that you support that. You know what I mean? Because then people realize how wild it is. But if you make little subtle ads, you can slowly get people on the train and join your little propaganda wagon. So I think it is concerning, and that's my initial thoughts on that. What about you?
Honestly, I kind of feel my opinion of that ad is I almost kind of feel they didn't. I kind of feel they thought they were being obviously ironic, that.
Okay.
I kind of thought that they were okay, nobody's going to take this seriously. It's Sydney Sweeney saying that she has good genes. It's a pun on the word jeans. Nobody's going to be whatever. I kind of think that they didn't realize people were going to take it so seriously, which maybe that just means that everybody kind of has a sore spot right now for stuff like that. You don't want to say something to set people off more than they already are. And I know, and this ad was a play off of an old ad of Brooke Shields saying basically the same script in the 80s. It was a direct copy of that ad almost. I feel they just made this a thing at the wrong time. I think if they had done it at a different time, people wouldn't have taken it so seriously. But I think of just what's going on in the world right now, that's what is on the top of people's minds, and therefore people are wait, this doesn't feel right for the current.
I think that's why they're doing it at this time. You know what I mean? Because they know that that's when it would make the most impact, whether that's negative or positive. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of icky.
Yeah.
I get pulling from previous decades and trying to revive something, or Sabrina Carpenter using synth 80s pop sound. That's a cool way to revive something of the past. But there's just some things that, it's important to talk about and remember as a part of our history, but we don't need to revolutionize it or not redo it, but just use it use it as a script for the future. Or, for something in the present.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. It's like I like initially I kind of felt like it was they just didn't think hard enough about it and didn't think about the repercussions of what they were putting out based on the current climate, but it could be also your perspective, which is that they purposely did it at this time. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, like, because I feel like in advertising you do a lot of like target audience research. And also just anything that you're going to do with Sydney Sweeney right now is also going to be controversial. Like whether she's saying something good or bad, like she's just kind of been controversial recently. So using her for anything is kind of, that you're going to be getting some controversy. So I think even the fact that they chose Sydney Sweeney, like if they chose somebody who's more unproblematic, maybe it would have flown under the radar. Like,
but I think that's why they chose Sydney Sweeney, is because that's what makes the message. That's how they are able to say what they're trying to say, I think. And like, I don't know. There's definitely like, I don't know the full story or the full intention behind it, but I think that like brand research is cool and like trying to find your demographic. And it's almost seeming like I never really thought, usually when I think about finding your demographic, I think of, the audience that you're looking for and what they stand for and then trying to appeal to that. But now I almost feel like people are using or trying to find their audience and trying to see what they don't stand for and trying to appeal for that. So I'm kind of
or just like trying to introduce a new target audience. So like if your target audience is like a diverse set of people under the age of 30, maybe they're like, okay, how do we appeal to millennials? Or like not that this has nothing to do with like that specific ad. I'm just saying like as an example. Or like we can go back to like, was it Bud Light with Dylan Mulvaney?
Yes.
So that was like definitely Bud Light being like, we have this specific target audience and now we want to target younger people from a more diverse background and like different types of people than is our typical like 50-year-old white dad target audience. And they did the ad with Dylan Mulvaney, but then their current target audience took it way wrong. Yeah, or their current target audience was like, this is not, who we want as our spokesperson. But then the people who did support Dylan Mulvaney and all of that were like, we do support this now. So it's like they gained the target audience they were looking for, but then they lose their actual target audience.
But Bud Light kind of shot themselves in the foot, because if you're going to use somebody to try to get support or more money from a certain community, and then you're getting backlash from a different demographic, but then now you're not supporting this person that you were just, using to reach a different community, you're not backing them up or defending them. Now it's like you've lost everybody. So honestly, as JoJo Siwa once said, karma's the bitch. You should have known better.
Yeah. Speaking of JoJo Siwa, I feel like she could really be talked about.
I didn't even think about her, but she's like the epitome.
I have her written down in my notes. So just like, she is so, I wouldn't even say she's like problematic necessarily.
She kind of is, though. I've never heard her trending because of something that was just natural. Normal. And it's always like some sort of calculated rebrand or it's like a song that's like, we obviously know it's to get people's attention. Because I don't know, like Karma, like nothing about that felt organic. And I feel like she would even admit that. Like I think she did admit that. And like Karma was not what she wanted to make.
So yeah, it's like only like for example, like we have JoJo Siwa and we have Jacob Sartorius. Jacob Sartorius has not really done anything problematic over the past 10 years. Like his last problematic thing was releasing the song Sweatshirt, which everyone hated.
It's so funny.
And then he kind of just dropped off and like nobody's talked about him for 10 years. Like I haven't really thought about him except for occasionally he'll pop up on my like For You page and I'm like, oh my gosh, Jacob Sartorius. On the other hand, you have JoJo Siwa, who's from that same like age group of people, time, like musically era, where every month she's just got something new. And it's usually problematic or controversial or just like shocking. I think it's a lot of, to me, it's shock value. Like every time she does something new, I'm like, no way, like I did not see this coming. So it like keeps me coming back, even though I don't really care whether she's doing this or that, but it's just so enjoyable to like follow what she's doing because it's so shocking. And I think this goes the same way for, who was I gonna say? I forget. Someone else. Like Trisha Paytas, maybe.
I feel like she's kind of like settled down a bit more but I feel like with JoJo Siwa, she's kind of like jumping from rebrand to rebrand, but none of it's sticking. Whereas I do think Trisha Paytas has now kind of landed on this, I don't know how I would describe her brand. It's very like kind of comedy, but
yeah, it's just like irony. Like everyone knows.
Podcast, you know. So I don't know how Trisha Paytas comes into any of this, but JoJo Siwa, yes, definitely, because I think that like the entertainment industry is so fast moving. So you have the consumers who are just trying to find the quickest way to be entertained, you know, whether that's like music, movies, modeling, social media, all of that, like just the quickest way to be entertained. And so that's why normally it's like they're just going for like that flashy rebrand. And then also kind of on the other end of it, or like the behind the scenes of it, a lot of investors in the industry, you know, people at record labels or management teams, you know, they're not necessarily always looking for people who are just passionate about what they do, because that doesn't guarantee them that they're going to make money. What guarantees them that they're going to make money quick and fast? Wait, that's the same thing, quick and fast. What guarantees that they're going to make money quickly is something that's flashy. And so that's why they're going to go for just what's the most, like, whether that's positive or negative, like something can be flashy in a positive, in a good or a bad way. So
I also, this thought just popped into my head, but I also think that the more problematic you are, the stronger fan base you can have, because people won't just like you for who you are, but just for the concept of like standing up. Like we could say this in like the most like innocent way, like I don't know what's well, no, I was gonna say our president in like the non-innocent way of like, I was gonna say it could be the most trivial is the right word. It could be the most trivial thing. Like I like the movie Frozen way more than I probably would if there was no controversy behind it being a really good movie or a really bad movie. Okay.
Yeah.
The haters,
you want to like defend it.
Yeah. Or it could be like the president, like
right. That could go into like cult territory. So I don't know how that ties into this.
Which I mean, then we could take it even more into cult. Like if you're a problematic cult, your followers are the most strong-willed towards your side, more passionate than like if it was just like not a controversial issue.
Yeah. And one of the most interesting, or like another good point with this, which really ties in well, is Love Island, which I don't know how much you've seen about this, but do you know Huda from Love Island?
Sort of.
Okay, because the thing is, like, I would say arguably, like, I would say like one of the most controversial on the show, you know what I mean? In terms of how she moved in the villa, and like there was some arguments and stuff. Like, that's not me trying to like be opinionated. That's more just like a neutral stance that she did stir up some things in the villa. Like, that is true. But she's arguably like one of the most talked about people and is like one of the most followed people from the show. And she definitely has a huge following because they like to defend her. And I think that when the heart rate challenge came around, and that, you know, ruffled some feathers. And so now there's stakes with it. Now they feel like they don't just have to like Huda because they like Huda. Now they like Huda because they want to tear down Shelley and Alandria.
Like how
so a lot of that, it's like there's stakes that go into it, and that's what makes people be like more proud to defend somebody.
Exactly. Like how I hate Benson Boone so much that I also am willing to tear down his entire fan base. I'm just kidding. Yeah,
but no, Huda, like her and Chris, who she was in a relationship or like coupled up with, whatever, before the finale, like arguably, I'm sure like everybody could agree with this, that Shelley and Ace had a much stronger connection. but because they just weren't as well liked, I guess. I don't know by who. Like, I like Shelly and Ace better, but okay, anyways. Huda was, a popular topic, and it wasn't because of her connection with Chris. It was because of just what she's done in the villa and how that's fostered a group of supporters. And so now she's in the final four of Love Island, like a dating show. And then it like ends things with Chris in the finale of a dating show. Like, breaking up on the finale of a dating show is pretty bad. So that's when you know that you have to have like a brand and like an image to get you to that point, because it wasn't the connection.
Yeah. So yeah, it is truly like for example, if you're either like a Swiftie or not a Swiftie, and if you're a Swiftie, you're more likely to like be super into Taylor Swift, and if you're not a Swiftie, you're willing to like argue so much against like things that she does. Like if liking Taylor Swift wasn't such a controversial topic, her top fans wouldn't be as dedicated, and her top haters wouldn't be as dedicated.
Exactly, because then you wouldn't have fans attacking Beyonce or something like that, because they're actually just
you'd have no reason to
two women in the entertainment industry, but because Taylor Swift fans feel like there's stakes or whatever, and so they're like, we don't want Beyonce to be viewed as the number one pop star, so we're going to defend Taylor Swift and hate on her, and of course vice versa, so that's how you start all of this toxicity, honestly. So that's so true. That's what I've been trying to say for the past like 5 minutes and could not like get it out correctly. But yes, like, you're gonna feel less passionate if there's lower stakes, and more passionate if there's higher stakes about leaning one way or the other in anything, whether it's a movie or like politics. I feel like that's kind of my epiphany for this episode, honestly, is it's not about being controversial to get you somewhere, but it's about having stakes, and that can look like in so many different ways, which we've talked about. But also, like, I think
when we're talking stakes, are we talking like rare, medium rare, well done,
literally well. But yeah, I think that Nicki Minaj has talked about how a lot of people in the hip hop industry don't last super long because they focus so much on being flashy and all of that they don't have an appreciation and love for their craft. And so that's why they may get a viral moment but not stay like in the industry. So I think that also another point is that with being controversial, yes, it can turn heads for a second, but keep in mind a second for 15 minutes, because once the 15 minutes of fame is up, it's like, who are you? What's your story? What are you here for? You know what I mean? And so I think that passion does truly come down to passion, but in also, a very like money greedy industry, controversy can definitely drive it too. Okay, sorry, that was a yap fest.
I also thought this was a good place to talk about like the Cracker Barrel rebrand, because Cracker Barrel
can you explain that a bit more? I don't fully know. I've heard about it, but
okay, I'll explain it. So Cracker Barrel, country quote unquote fast food, fast casual chain, mostly in the South, I believe. I don't fully know.
I feel like we only know because we're from the South.
Type of restaurant your grandpa would eat at. Type of restaurant, honestly, only you would eat at if you've like grown up going there. Like, I don't like, as someone who didn't grow up going to Cracker Barrel, I have no interest in like stepping foot into a Cracker Barrel rather than like a Chipotle or Kava, or
like
like
Southern grandpa would eat is a good description.
Yeah. So a few months ago, they had kind of started to soft launch a rebrand, trying to target Gen Z, because, to be honest, like, their main demographic is getting older and will be gone eventually. And so they need to
think about it like that. Oh my gosh. Wait, like, that's actually so sad that they're like rebranding because their like target audience is dying.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of, if you really think about it, like, that's why anyone would rebrand to a younger target audience, just because eventually the original target audience will die off. Like, that's just how the circle of life works. But to be very brutal, but
the circle of life.
A few months ago, they had started soft launching a rebrand through like interior design. So Cracker Barrel for like it has like dark wooden interiors, very warm lighting, and then they have like picture frames. It's very like old country store. Like they even
Like
have
cabin?
little gift shop. Yeah, like cabin, grandpa's house.
Cabin core?
Western-ish. And I'd even see trends a long time ago of like printing out a family picture and then secretly hanging it up on the Cracker Barrel wall, because there's so many frames up there, like nobody notice it. Nobody would notice that like you put up a picture of yourself. Like if you edited it black and white and like nobody's gonna know.
I just like choked on my laughter.
So they soft launched the interior design to like a new like minimalist stark white style with like, you know, like the inside of any generic you know, chain restaurant. And then people were starting to get a little bit mad, and then like a few weeks ago they debuted their new logo, which their old logo was like a guy with, I believe, a lasso sitting next to a barrel, and then they modernized it, and now it's like a hexagon shape with just a slightly updated typography, and it just says Cracker Barrel. There's no like barrel iconography anymore. And it definitely fits in with like the new modern rebrands of lots of things, but people were mad because it lost a lot of the character of like the old Cracker Barrel logo. And like honestly, I think the old Cracker Barrel logo is a little bit too much. Like I think it definitely could be simplified and modernized, but I saw a lot of people post their takes on redesigning the logo, and I saw like way better ones than what the actual branding agency that redesigned it came up with. Like I saw ones that still incorporated the barrel shape or like stuff like that, which I thought could work really well.
Was that their scheme?
But now
all
it's
along,
like,
though?
So, and then it was all controversial. And then about a few days ago or a week ago, they were like, all right, they posted this like apology post basically. And they said, we love to see how dedicated our fans are, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to be reverting back to our original branding. So the new logo is back. Like they scrapped the old logo is back. They scrapped the new design, which as a designer, I was a little bit upset. One, not because I didn't like the new redesign. Like I thought they could have modernized it, but done better. But it was more that as a designer, you are taught, like as a designer, you're taught to like choose your decisions because they work, and that is the only solution, and to stand on that because that is the solution to the problem. Like the solution is to redesign the logo for a more modern, younger audience. You modernize it. This is the typographic choice and shape choice that we chose because we believe that this is how we're going to connect to the younger target audience. So for them to be like, oh, okay, we're sorry, never mind. It's like, dang, that
was
team
probably
of designers must have not very...
They probably scheduled that post knowing, because this is also like, remember IHOP did that with IHOB? That was definitely a marketing scheme because now they're IHOP again, but we all know they have burgers now, so their mission worked.
Except IHOB, people knew that it was a joke as it was happening.
Okay.
With this, it's like, was it or was it not? Like, we can't actually really tell. And no one will really know.
Have you been thinking more about Cracker Barrel, though, recently?
I have, and I'm not necessarily more likely to go to a Cracker Barrel, but it has sparked my curiosity a little bit to where I'm like, okay, I never really have been to a Cracker Barrel. Like, yeah. So it is like, was this calculated or was it genuinely a failed redesign? So I don't know. But then I've seen so many other advertising people coming up with better campaigns. Like there was a campaign that somebody came up with, like a mock campaign of like, if Cracker Barrel had been intentional in that this is a joke campaign, like making it known that it's a joke, launching the new logo design and then posting wanted posters around the world saying like, we're looking for this old man that used to be on the logo, where did he go? And then eventually reintroducing the old logo back. That could have been such a good calculated fake rebrand, similar to IHOB, where people are aware that it's fake. You know, like I was like, that's so genius, because then I would have been like, that was a genius marketing campaign, because they pretended to launch the new logo, then posted wanted posters of the guy that we all miss, now I'm like, okay, that was so smart. Now I want to go eat at the restaurant because that was great marketing. Whereas now I'm like, I think it either was they were lying to us or that the designers are not confident in their own decisions. So either way, I'm still not convinced about whether I want it, about going to a Cracker Barrel.
I feel like Gen Z is like the smartest yet the most gullible demographic ever, because if you're able to fool them, I feel like you're set for life. Let me say fool us, because I'm Gen Z. I don't want to like be like, oh, I'm not. If you're able to fool us, you're set for life. But like, it's really hard to appeal to us, because I feel like we have like strict standards for what's actually funny and what's just a cash grab. And if somebody's going to be doing TikTok trends to promote their brand, they have to do it in the right way, or otherwise people are like, airball. So I think this is all kind of funny, but
or like nice try Diddy. You know, when you see the ads, and then all the comments are nice try Diddy.
Guys,
yeah,
that's crazy. Anyways, yeah, I think it does go to show that controversy does lead to people talking, and people talking can lead to a better output, or just like increase in traffic, whatever you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah,
whether that's sales, streams, etc. So I feel like this is a good conversation. Do you have anything else you want to add?
I know. I enjoyed that we were able to connect both the music and entertainment world with the like advertising and branding world, because we're just seeing a lot of it right now, a lot of this. And I think everybody's becoming more aware of it. So I'm excited to see what else happens. What other controversial things will happen soon? Any other rebrands? I don't know. It's just fun to watch. But yeah, we did in fact yap for a very long time.
We should
How
get a
long
Burger
has this
Queen.
episode been?
I'm just kidding. I hate Burger King. Like, I've never been there, but like Burger Queen.
Yeah, that like, could see. You need to go into the advertising world, because that could be a really good campaign.
No, because what would happen is then they would just be like, oh, they're so woke. They're trying to make the king a queen. Oh, people are so dramatic. Anyways, I'm just thinking of other like dumb rebrands. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Subway, she got away.
She got
Oh, I know
away.
Subway has reached out to Chapel Roan about doing a collab. Like, I know that email is sitting in her inbox.
I actually never put the two and two together, that like Subway and Subway are like both the same word, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
anyways, guys.
Yeah. Anyways,
I feel like every time you have a thought, I like cut you off. Sorry.
Oh, I'm done. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching / listening. But we do have video episodes. If you were just listening and didn't know about the video episodes.
Available on YouTube and Spotify.
Yeah. But yes, we'll see you guys next Tuesday with another video. Thank you so much for listening.
Follow us on Instagram at The Subtlety Pod for more updates and snippets, because this episode might have to have 2 snippets because it was so juicy, so tea.
Ooh.
So
some juicy steaks.
Oh, literally. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for listening or watching. We'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye, guys.